what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Ignace Aleya here today with Lavito Beats. We're outside, sunny weather, and we thought sitting together and talking about how to get inspired. So here we have Lavito Beats. As you know, he's already been working together with us a long time, and he actually produces a lot of beats for the channel. The intro song that you actually hear in the intro of this video is produced by him. But I will leave the word to Lavito and introduce yourself to the people that don't know you yet.
Okay, alright, so guys, I'm Lavito Beats, and yeah, I make beats. But the thing is, for me, it's important that when you create something that you try to be different. Not trying to be different, but create something unique, because for me it's not only beats, it's also film music, all kinds of things. It's just that try to be different, be creative. That's, for me, that's one of the most important things when I make music, but also for other entrepreneurs, whatever your business is. Yeah, I think that's one of the first things we should talk about.
Yeah, it's a very good topic actually. Trying different things allow you to experiment with that kind of genre, in your case being hip-hop, being trap, summer vibe beats, and all these things you experiment with them. What I think a lot of producers don't really do, because they have their niche, their idea, they love hip-hop and will continue making hip-hop beats, but actually experimenting in the entire world of making music allows you to feed your mind and become more inspired to create something innovating and something new and something different than what's already out there. That really allows you to become your own unique person and with your own unique style, because you do have a unique style, in my opinion. If I listen to beats from Lavito, that's Lavito right there. So if you can create something like that, and it takes time to get at that point, I think, but that's essentially what you're trying to get, the own style. You don't want to copy anyone. You want your own style to be inspired by your own.
Because the thing is, when you're in the film business, I'm in the music business, but the thing is, our daily lives are very similar. I mean, when you think about working in the studio and working in the workflow, the only difference is that for you it's more visually, while for me it's more like audio. So when you're creating your music, your videos, you're like visually using your eyes to see the results. For me, it's more like listening. But for me, when I'm creating a beat or a song, very often already see some kind of images or visuals. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Also, something very nice is, so as he said, our lives are pretty similar, meaning that he sits in the studio, I do as well. I'm editing videos where he's editing sound and audio, creating a beat as a result, and me creating videos as a result, where I do editing, filmmaking, and visual effects, which is my passion. His passion is the music, but it's very similar. And how I actually get inspired to create videos is often I think of a song or a style or a vibe that I heard somewhere, and I start creating visually because of the reference I use from the audio or the music that I'm using or thinking about. I will create a movie in the style or in the vibe or the mood of that specific song, where, as you said, you think visually. When you're making some kind of beat, you're immediately thinking of a music clip you're gonna show on that beat, or how you would like to see the vibe, some kind of urban, grungy thing.
Like verse, reverse, like you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the inverse, and we're actually thinking of this right now. So that's kind of funny that it's just a reverse way of thinking, creating different results, but each get inspired by each other's end result. So
really?
That's very cool.
I mean, when you think about collaborations, for us it's like that. It's like you're gonna talk to me like, look at this visually. What do you hear with this? And when I have something, I will tell you, look at this, listen to this, and what do you see visually? And then, I mean, one of the things that we were going to talk about, I would like to have some tea as well, Mr. Ignace.
I'll get you some tea then.
Thank you very much. And if you didn't see this, so we have some shisha here. I mean, it's a beautiful day in Belgium. We're really enjoying this, because we were going to make this video inside, right? But then...
Exactly, we were going to sit in the studio, but how can you sit in the studio in this weather? And it just allows us to be even more inspired, because that brings me to a new point. Your environment actually is a big role of getting inspired. For example, the other day I went with Lavito, we did a meetup, and we were thinking of a music clip we wanted to make. But we had no idea what story, what we were gonna do. So we decided to go for a walk and just talk like that instead of sitting inside and noting everything down on paper. We went for a walk and we actually got inspired by the environment. We saw a location and we built that entire story around that location, but we would have never come on that idea if we didn't go to that location. So just walking around, man.
Yeah,
right?
It's like, I'm not sure if you guys read the book of Steve Jobs, because one of the things that he did, and it was for me very, it's so simple, but having a walk while you're talking with someone automatically makes the conversation more interesting, because you're both moving, you're both getting inspired. I mean, you're getting all kinds of effects from outside, having some kind of. I'm not sure how to explain this. How do you say this in English? That you walk around and all of these things happen around you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get inspired, like the location.
It's your environment, but not just the locations, but also the things happening. For example, when a train passes by, you will probably think of the sound of the train and use it in your beat, because I know some stories where Lavito was like, the police passed by his apartment. Exactly. And he was like, I'm just gonna record that, and he got inspired by that, right?
I was tired of hearing the cops passing by all the time, but I said, like, you know what? If you guys really want this, I'll just open the window, put on my mic, and record these police sounds. And the same with train, because the other moment, a few minutes ago, I mean, we were here chilling and I heard the train. I was talking to him and I was like listening to this train, and I said, wow, if I add now like a low bomb synth ambient sound coming up, oh, this could be the perfect intro for a movie, right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and also when we were walking, I remember that there was no purpose. So often you need a purpose when you do something. Like if you create a beat, you can have a purpose and say, I need this kind of beat or I need this kind of video.
Yeah.
But when it comes to inspiration, for me, it's like going outside or just throwing yourself into the project. Sports. But I mean, like, you can do sports, you can do outside. But for me, when it comes to music, you don't really need a purpose all the time.
No, exactly. Everyone has his own way of finding his inspiration. Some can sit outside and just sit there. Some can go for a drive. Some can go for a run, read a book. These things, because you're so not thinking about anything, and that's something sometimes very important. Kind of freeing your mind, thinking about nothing but the thing you're doing at that moment. Driving, you're thinking of driving and being observing the road and stuff. You're not really thinking of other things, but automatically you will start thinking about something. And these things that pop into your mind at these moments often become a very good inspiration to do something. In my case,
like Ignace, I remember when I got my law degree, the diploma. This I'm not sure what his name was, but this guy who was giving this kind of speech said, and it was for me something that I will never forget, is that luck appears when opportunity meets preparation.
Exactly.
Okay, so what does it mean to me is that you can actually link this to inspiration as well, because if you are prepared in a way, like whatever your business is, and you have like a system or you have like a daily workflow, you prepare yourself for any kind of opportunity. Because when someone comes in, and I've been playing tennis for 10 years and he tells me like, do you want to play a game against me, tennis? I will be like, hell yeah, I played tennis for 10 years, I want to play. That's the same thing with music, same thing with filmmaking, right? When someone crosses your road and you've been working on your craft, on your passion, it can be luck coming out of the opportunity.
Definitely. Also, while you're talking about, you have
train.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
I hear another train. You hear a train, guys? I'm not sure. Will they hear this on the?
I don't know. I hope not.
There's a train in the back. That doesn't make me stupid or whatever you guys think about me. I'm just chilling here in the sun.
I will add the sound effect of it conversation.
No, really.
Okay. So, yeah. Another thing I wanted to say is like, when you do tennis for 10 years and a starter comes to play with you, that was what you're saying, right?
Starter or experienced, whatever.
Another one, okay, a different one. But Anyway, one of the two is the less experienced one, and he will challenge himself to actually challenge a more experienced person. So sometimes you just gotta challenge yourself really hard, like something that is completely out of your reach. I've seen visual effects, and as you know, I do a lot of visual effects. I see a visual effect from a movie, and I'm like, I have no idea how they did that, and I force myself to go on the computer, see it over and over and over again, and I have no clue how they did that. Maybe I take some time off, maybe I don't. I start analyzing every single frame, every single effect, and eventually I end up to recreate exactly that effect. So sometimes it takes time, but you have to challenge yourself to get inspired. Also, the more you know, the more you did in the past, the more experience you have, the more you did, the more inspired you will become, and the faster that will come to you. It will hit you faster because you have more reference in your history of creating something to look back on and get inspired very easily. If you start out, it's very difficult. It was for me though. I don't know for you, if you were always this inspired like right now.
Well, the thing is, I just started like the YouTube channel like 1 year ago. We started,
it's not too long.
1 year and a half. But yeah, I was busy before, and I'm gonna release a lot with you the coming months. And I mean, can't tell too much, but what he's doing right now on my video, on my music, wow. Can't wait to show you. But yeah, that's for later. Anyway,
Exactly.
What I want to
Secret
say,
stuff, man.
yeah, it's secret. I can't tell you too much. The thing is, getting together with people, whatever they do, whatever they say or who they are, can be a form of inspiration as well. Even just sitting here and listening to birds and everything can inspire you. It's the same thing when you're at home or when you go for dinner with family or your girlfriend. This can be an inspirational moment. And what I often do, and I'm not sure if you do that, do you sometimes when you go in your studio and you're like, today I'm gonna work, I need to work like 6-7 hours straight, or I'm gonna do a big project, do you do like a sort of relaxing mind moment just before you start? Like for me, what I often do is I sit there, I just close my eyes, and I'm just trying to find my inner chi, how you say it.
May sound stupid to people that have never tried this, and actually I used to do it, but I kind of stopped doing that, and I actually plan on taking that back, because sometimes I have this app that I use for meditating called Headspace. A lot of people probably know about that app. I used to follow that every single day to kind of 3 minutes of Zen, trying to free your mind, let go of everything, because everything that's still in here doesn't allow anything new to come inside of your mind. So that really does help, and I should pick up that. I should pick that up again. I don't at the moment, but it's very good stuff to do that.
Like one of the things I read not so long ago is that typical things for entrepreneurs, and one of the things that a lot of entrepreneurs do, so people who have their own business and are independent, is they get a moment of inspiration per day, which can be meditating or yoga or just chilling or reading, or just trying not even reading, just clearing your mind for a sec and trying to just realize of yourself being here. 2, sports. Doesn't mean that you need to go running like for hours or whatever, but
everyone has his own thing.
You can do whatever, just 30 minutes of cardio. And then the third thing they did was reading or getting inspired by something that is related to their content, peer review we could call it, and they just read about, for example, for me that would be, I would just read about the newest Ableton Live VSTs, or just read about the newest VST that I could use with Omnisphere or whatever. For you, I think that's also you need to do, right? So read a little bit about what's going on in your game. What is your market? What's going on the scene? Can you learn something? You know?
Yeah, I always try to learn something, and usually you should learn something every single day. That doesn't mean learn something about filmmaking every day. Just learn something every day by watching the news, for example, which I don't do, because it actually I focus on what I want to do, and I don't get clung up on news. That's my own opinion. But when I watch a YouTube video from another creator that is like a big idol for me, that also he can also teach me something new that exact day, for example, or just watching a tutorial or watching a documentary. Anything can be learning something every day, and sometimes you don't realize you learned something new that exact day, but you did. Basically, always learn something new every day if you challenge yourself.
Which can be simple things.
Simple things, yeah.
Not so long ago, I was with Rednick Beats, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys know him, but Rednick Beats is a beat creator. I know him through Tricky Beats. He's like really going big in Belgium. He told me like very simple, hey David, if you're in Ableton, and he's not even using Ableton, he uses Fruity Loops. He said, hey David, when you press Command and the down facing arrow, you can go chords down in your MIDI file. I'm like, what? Such a logical, easy thing, and I was like, wow.
In your industry, then?
Yeah, so I could even work quicker just by this simple thing. And I was like, I learned this that day, even though most of the producers should know. But yeah, sometimes you just.
Yeah, but you don't have to be ashamed. Even if you're a great, mind and you're creating great content, it doesn't necessarily mean you know everything and that you have to know someone that is maybe worse than you, which I'm not saying that Rednick is or something. I'm just saying like a person that knows less than you in some kind of area can actually teach you, and you should always have an open mind when it comes to people giving you advice. People can edit, know more hotkeys and editing while you're a better editor. But you can learn to edit faster, and also working faster allows you to get a task done faster, allows you more opportunity.
True.
All right, so that's basically ways to get inspired. If you like this kind of video, because it's a new style on the channel, if you like these type of videos, definitely let us know in the comments below. Also check out Lavito Beats, his channel. He has amazing music. But it would be great to do this again if you, of course, like this kind of content and sit together a little bit more about different kind of topics.
Certainly. I mean, for me, like I said before, it's just have a conversation with someone, relaxing and no stress.
One more thing, that's something Lavito always says, but he is kind of right. When we do our business, we talk on Facebook, and often at times it doesn't work out. I'm working on something, he's working on something, and we don't have time for each other, so we end up meeting in real life right here, which is a very important topic that you like to talk about all the time, but he's kind of right.
No, it's true. I mean, we're lucky to be in 2K18 having social media, because it allows us to talk and communicate very quick and create and everything. But at the same time, real life conversations are even more important than before.
Yeah, not to forget.
Because you can lose yourself in this social media world. I mean, again, it's something we should be happy that it's there, but be careful, like the Facebook thing and everything that's happening. Be careful and certainly enjoy real life communication, inspiration.
Oftentimes, and I'm not sure that's the case for every creator, but I see a lot of big creators, and I'm not talking about myself, but way bigger creators, because I'm not necessarily that big on YouTube, but it's kind of the same kind of style. But these bigger creators often kind of take a step backwards from social media. Okay, they still create and they have a social profile and a social they're social influencers, but in their private life they are really cut back from social media because they know social media that well that they actually realize there is something a lot bigger than the social media. They still love creating and building a nice community, but sometimes just go and meet people in real life. They inspire you so much, even people that have nothing to do within your branch. Just go talk with them. Stories. I know people that just go to Starbucks, which I don't do, but to write something, and they listen to conversations from other people drinking something there, and that inspires them to create something. So it can get that far if that's something that works for you. I actually know a director here in Belgium that did that. He told me that story.
Nice.
Yeah, great guy. But yeah, so if you have any ways of getting inspired by yourself, let us know also in the comments below what inspires you. As I said, check out Lavito Beats. Now it's definitely gonna be a wrap. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get the notification squad. And hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Peace.
Pretty good for the first time.